Hello, my love. Okay, when working with people with end of life planning, oftentimes many people don't know exactly what that means. So, I'm going to give you some information that's really important and will help you with getting your affairs in order. Just know that you don't have to do all of it in one sitting, but if you can do a little bit at a time, it would be great. And eventually, I'm going to create a checklist for you guys. First, make sure all bank accounts have direct beneficiaries. The beneficiary will only need to go to the bank with your death certificate and an identification card of their own in order to access your banking information, your banking account, all monies that are in there. If you own a home, a TOD, which is a transfer of death deed, will help you immensely. If you complete this document and file it with your county, it's going to save your heirs thousands. Many people say, I don't want to be a burden to my family. Well, this is one way to not be a burden to your family. This document will allow you to transfer ownership of your home to your designee. All they need to do is take their ID and your death certificate to the county building, and the deed is signed over. Doing this will avoid the home having to go through probate. A living will. This allows one to put in writing exactly what you want done in the event you cannot speak for yourself. When it comes to healthcare decisions, and it's also important for final decisions. Durable power of attorney, also called a POA. It allows one to designate a person to make legal decisions if you are no longer competent to do so. Power of attorney for healthcare. This one is specific for allowing healthcare decisions to be made. The last will and testament designates to whom personal belongings will go. Funeral planning declaration. This allows one to say exactly one's wishes as far as disposition of the body and the services. This will reduce arguments from your family. The goal is to avoid probate. If all of those previous documents are complete, you have a better chance of avoiding probate. If the documents are not done, you must open an estate account at the bank. All money that doesn't have direct beneficiaries goes into this account. You have to have an attorney to open the estate account. The attorney also must publicize your passing in a newspaper or post publication at the county courthouse to allow anyone to make a claim on your property. This becomes a pain for your family members. Make a list of all banks and their account numbers. Make a list of all investment institutions and their account numbers. Make a list of all credit card companies, utility accounts. Leave clear instructions as to how and when these things are paid. Life insurance policy. Make sure your heirs know where life insurance policies are located. Other accounts, your passwords, titles. Make sure someone knows things like your Apple ID, your bank ID account logins, the passwords. Make sure you have titles for all vehicles, your campers, your boats, things of that nature. If you have property in another place other than where you're residing, make sure you have that information. set up a trust. The trust should be intended for beneficiaries, especially those that are too young, and then you should appoint a trustee of said trust. Now, I have seen people set up a trust in their name and they appointed themselves as the trustee and a few other family members. So let's just say Dr. Friesen was on there, then Dr. Friesen's son would be on there, say Dr. Friesen's daughter would be on there, right? So what happens is while the person is alive, the main person, Dr. Friesen, gets to do things with whatever's in the trust. And in the case of one particular, my most recent client, she had property throughout the state of Florida. I mean, throughout all of Florida, right? So she was able to sell property and things of that nature and do it on behalf of the trust. She also had her other family members listed, all of her kids, so that definitely if something happened to her, all of that property was already in a trust. She didn't really have to worry about probate. Their names are already there. Someone else is appointed. She has all the paperwork in order. So when she passes, it's a much simpler process, whenever that is. Right now, I mean, I literally just worked with her this year, 2020. She's in her late 70s. So, she's had this set up for 30 years, right? It's never too early. Never too early. Most importantly, talk to everyone. Talk with those closest to you. Make all of your wishes known. If you want to be cremated, let everyone you know want to be cremated. Everyone should know. All of your siblings should know. All of your kids should know. If you want to be buried in a red dress, let everybody know you want to be buried in a red dress. Everyone should know the same thing. Talk to those who are close to you as well as those who are not so close. Like, you know, you got your kids who are one level of closeness. You have the person that you've designated to handle everything, and then you got the person that you don't really trust them with your money, but you want them to know that somebody else is handling things. Then you got those other people who are friends that you kind of want to say, hey, I've set things up and I want things to be this way. Because if something happens to all of the people that you have in line, and you at least will have someone else who knows what your wishes were. And another thing this does is it explains why you make your decisions or you made your decisions, and it avoids questions and hurt feelings. I have a particular person that years ago, when his mother passed, before she passed, she was sick and it was expected that she would pass. She called all of her children. She has 13 kids. She called all of her children to her bedside before she passed. Her property was in a trust with everybody's name on it. At that time, she said, I want this house to go to my youngest son in front of everybody there. So there was no question. The house, which was in a trust with everybody's name on it, she wanted that to go to the son. She didn't have a will, but she had a trust for that property. And she verbalized it, and everyone honored it because everyone knew the youngest son was to get the house. So some things can be handled in a better way if you don't avoid it, don't avoid the conversation. Have the conversation, let everyone know where you stand. I really hope this information helps you guys, and I will see you next time.